In San Diego, the Republicans lost the 52nd congressional race, the mayor's race, and a key seat on the County Board of Supervisors to Democrats. Now the party is working to recapture those seats with a focus on electing Latinos. Ruben Barrales, previously with San Diego's Chamber of Commerce and now president of Grow Elect, joins me with more on the efforts to get Republican Latinos into office. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Ruben, you've been named as one of the 100 most influential Latinos in America, and
that's right. And if you go by alphabetical order, I'm way up
way
there.
up the top.
Yeah.
And you were aide to President George W. Bush.
That's right.
What is it about Latinos shying away from the Republican Party that you don't do and you think they're missing?
Well, I don't know if they're missing something, but what I have is a kind of hope and opportunity as a driver, and I see competition in our political system as being a good thing. And so I think both parties should compete for the Latino vote. I think it makes the party stronger. I think it makes the Latino community stronger, and ultimately, hopefully, it makes our democracy stronger.
Grow Elect is a grassroots organization that's very new. Tell us a little bit about it and how it's been going so far.
I'm really excited about it. I'm president of Grow Elect, and really, it's been, in my view, there have been a lot of folks in the Republican Party that have been trying to reach out to the Latino community, and I think that's the wrong approach. Outreach, I don't think is the thing to do. What you need to do is include. It needs to be inclusion. And so what Grow Elect is doing, what we're focused on, is including Latinos into the Republican Party. So it basically means we're identifying and supporting Latino candidates who want to run for office and make a difference in their communities. And
so your strategy for attracting either more candidates within the community, are you trying to build people up? How's that strategy?
Well, a lot of them are self-identified. As a Latino, when I'm in the community, I often, it's not unusual for me to get a Latina or a Latino to say, oh, by the way, I'm Republican, but I don't really advertise it. I don't let a lot of people know. So it's a lot of it is self-identification. Others are people that we're aware of that we think would make good leaders. And we're focused, our focus is statewide throughout California. So from Eureka down to Chula Vista, if you will, we're looking for Latinos who want to get involved in the political process, who want to make a difference in their communities, and we're trying to provide them the resources to do that.
Here in San Diego County, about a third of the 3 million residents say on their status that they're Latino.
Right.
What do you think they're looking for in an elected official specifically?
Yeah. Oh, I think they're looking for somebody who's going to solve problems that they're concerned about. So I think they're looking at, depending on where they live, what their neighborhood is, I think they're looking at folks that are going to keep them safe, they and their families safe, hopefully are going to be constructive and not polarizing while they're in office, and actually get things done and run the government in a fiscally responsible manner.
That's perhaps focused on their community a little bit more?
I hope so. I used to be an elected official. I was a county supervisor in San Mateo County up in the Bay Area, and my approach was to try to solve problems in my community, the community where I was from, where my family still lives, and friends and family, and really that's my point. My emphasis isn't so much about ideology and the parties and who's winning and who's blue and who's red. It's about identifying a new generation of Latino leaders in California and helping them grow and be strong and hopefully address problems in our communities.
Let's talk about that new generation, because the Republican candidate traditionally, in light of their GOP stance on immigration, opposing universal health care, declaring English as the official business language in the country, is that sort of old school? Is there a new generation of Republicans that might be a little different, have more moderate views on those issues?
I think, well, what I'm interested in is a new generation of Republicans that happen to be Latinos. And so I'm looking at candidates who might have different perspectives. I don't have an ideological test on whether they're conservatives or moderate conservatives or whatever the case might be. I want the Republican Party to reflect the demographics of California, which today, and actually in just a few months from today, the Latino community will be the largest single ethnic group in California. So the Republican Party needs to include and support Latinos so that we provide a more balanced approach to our governance, our elected officials, and again, solving problems in California.
All right, Ruben Barrales, we're out of time. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you.